Everywhere I go, people ask me about piccata. How do you make piccata? Today I'm going to show you how to make chicken and veal piccata. One is going to be sautéed and one is going to be fried. Stay tuned. Welcome to Tina Cooks More Italian. Today we're going to do chicken piccata and veal piccata. I already have my veal all nice thinly sliced. What I'm going to do next is I'm just going to trim and slice my chicken. I want it nice and thin because I'm going to make cutlets. And then I'm going to just slice some into medallions because I'm going to do a piccata sauté. Because sometimes I don't like piccata just deep fried all the time. You can do a lot with chicken piccata. You don't have to deep fry it. I'm going to take off all this fat, and you don't want this on there. I've showed you how to do this a number of times, but it's always good to see it one more time for those who haven't never tuned in to Tina Cooks. Cut off a few more cutlets here, like this. And then I'm going to take the rest of this chicken and I'm just going to cut little pieces, like little medallions out of it, because this is going to be my sautéed chicken. You could also use a half a breast, which I may do. You can use any cut you want, scallopini. You could use, little tenderloin pieces like this. You could use a half a chicken breast. You could use the whole chicken breast if you wanted. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a breading station, which also a lot of you have seen on the show before, but I'm going to demonstrate it one more time. I'm just going to move that out of the way. I like to use my pie plates. In the restaurants, we have big, big containers we do our breading stations on. I'm going to start out with some flour. My little bag of flour. I just need a little. Okay. And we're going to do our eggs next. I'm going to break about 3 eggs. Now you can add a little bit of water or a little bit of milk, whatever you want to add to it. I'm just going to use the eggs. And I also have breadcrumbs. Now these are a little bit of the seasoned ones. And then I have the breadcrumbs I make myself because sometimes I have bread left over, so I let it leave it out on the counter and I grind it. You can also, I toast it. It gives it a better flavor. So when you have leftover bread, toast it and dry it out. You'll have a great breadcrumb rather than wasting it. I'm going to add some granulated garlic, some pepper, and some Romano cheese. This already has parsley in it, so I'm not going to add any more dried parsley. I'm going to add some Romano cheese. Now, I don't season my flour because I season my breadcrumbs, and I season my breadcrumbs good. So that's why I don't season my flour. Okay, so we're going to beat up our eggs. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this in front of me like this, and I am going to start breading my veal first. You just put light flour on it in the egg wash. Flour, egg wash. And then what I like to do is I like to flour and egg wash everything first, because you really should have at least one clean hand. All right, so then you take it from your egg wash to your breadcrumbs. Now this veal is thinly sliced, so I'm not going to press it too hard. I should get a clean dish, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this on the table for now. This is our last piece of veal. So the next thing we're going to do is our chicken, okay? And I'm going to do the same process. You're going to dip in the flour, okay? Egg wash, flour, egg wash. Okay, that's our last piece of chicken we're breading. Now I am going to keep the flour because I like to lightly flour my chicken when I saute it. So I'm going to clean up this mess, get some nice dishes for my veal and chicken, and we'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to do a sauteed version of a chicken piccata. I'm going to put the pan on, not too high, but high enough where it's going to get hot, okay? I'm going to put a little bit of oil in here, because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to brown off my chicken. And I want enough oil to coat the bottom of the pan, so swirl that around. Okay. So now I'm going to take my chicken and I'm going to put it in the flour. Now this is the little medallion style chicken that I wanted to use, okay? And you're going to lightly flour it. And you're going to tap off all the extra flour, because you don't want too much flour, because then it makes it too pasty. I want that to get hot a little bit, so I'm going to hold this like that. Okay, so there we go. Now this, you can do a lot with a sauteed piccata. You don't have to follow this recipe exact. You can add mushrooms, onions. You can add whatever you like to incorporate into it. Okay, so we're going to get that going. All right. I'm going to load these chicken pieces into the frying pan. This is enough for one person, so if you want to make more, you make more. Okay, we're going to get that started. Let the chicken brown. You got to let the chicken brown a little bit. Turn this handle this way. I'm more comfortable with it that way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly season the chicken, just a little tiny bit, like that. And some pepper. If I have any pepper in here, which I might not, but that's okay. I'm always prepared. Got another pepper, because you can't cook without seasonings. You really can't. It's one thing I like to make sure that I have plenty of is seasonings. Somebody's up. We're going to turn the chicken pieces. Now I'm not adding any parsley, because what I want to do with this dish is I want to use a nice fresh parsley, because I'm going to make a piccata butter sauce. So I'm going to let my chicken cook a few more minutes on this side, then I'm going to take it off. So we're going to let this cook a little bit. We'll season this a little side, a little more too, just with some pepper. Now, like I said, a good thing to do with here would be mushrooms too. You would want to put mushrooms in at this time, like put your meat out toward the center, add some mushrooms. I'm not going to add mushrooms today, but it's also real good with mushrooms. Now, at this point, I'm going to put my heat down, and I'm going to add a little bit of white wine to deglaze that down with. Okay? And you're just going to let that wine cook off, because you don't want the alcohol in there, but you want the chicken to have a little bit of the flavor of the alcohol. Okay? Now we're going to take our chicken out. Now I'm going to let that heat stay on just so high. That's my towel. I'm wiping my hands on my clean pants because I got my towel out of my pocket. Now, the next step we're going to do is we're going to roll this lemon and we're going to cut it in half because I want some lemon juice, okay? I've got them at room temperature so I can get as much juice out of them as I possibly can. Now, I picked this up at Trader Joe's. Love Trader Joe's. This is a crushed garlic, and you buy it frozen. And you're going to pop that in instead of using the chopping the garlic, because this is actually almost like a pureed crushed garlic. It's really very good. I'm going to add this into this little bit of wine reduction we have going here, okay, just to get it nice and soft. If you like it real garlicky, you can add 3. One of these little cubes is like a garlic clove. So if you're mincing real garlic, you're going to use 2 garlic cloves for this sauce, okay? We're just going to let this melt down a little bit. Okay. Now this is actually frozen butter. You want it icy, icy cold, frozen just about. Okay? And as you can see, the wine and the reduction is coming down nice with the garlic. We're just going to add a little bit of butter at a time, and you're going to whisk it in as it melts, okay? I'm using about 3 tablespoons of butter with this right here, okay? That will be our last one. Now, what I like to do here, which I don't normally eat capers, but my daughter loves capers. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of lemon juice, about a tablespoon or so. Now I'm holding my hand like this because I don't want the seeds to go in there. So I've used a half of a lemon. We are going to add in our chicken again. And you're going to just like shake that around. Make sure they all get nice and coated. Okay. You're going to let this simmer down just a little bit more because you want it to finish cooking. I'm going to cut up some nice fresh parsley, flat leaf, because that's the best flavored one. I like to use a fresh parsley when I'm using a saute like this because it's prettier, it's fresher, it's got a better flavor. I mean, dried parsley, if you have dried parsley, that's fine. But I like to use a little bit of a fresh parsley. And we're going to fling that in there. Then, oh yeah, see the pretty colors? We're going to throw in some capers. And this is another reason why I cook with a towel. Because your hands get all yucky-do. Just a little bit, okay? And then you just take your piccata. This is really good if you slide it right over noodles or rice. And this is chicken piccata with capers. I'm going to try a little piece while we're here, just for the heck of it. Because I bet you this is delicious. It is delicious. You should try it. Okay, now at this stage, I'm going to show you how I prefer to make piccata butter. There's a lot of different piccatas. This is how I like to make it. I start out with a half a pound of really soft butter. You want it soft because you're going to put your garlic and parsley and lemon juice. So we've got half a pound, 2 sticks of butter, okay? Then we're going to take, now the garlic you can use as much or as little as you like. I like medium garlic. I'm going to use 2 good-sized cloves, and I'm going to mince them really fine. The finer your garlic is, the stronger it's going to be. So make sure that you realize that your garlic, the more you chop it, the stronger it's going to be. So you might not want to have too much. I love garlic, so the more the merrier. Okay, now we're going to take this garlic, and I would say that's a good 2 tablespoons or so of garlic minced. Okay? We're gonna put all that in there. And then we're gonna take some fresh parsley. I've used dried parsley when I made it with, for the fish. Now the thing about that I like with piccata butter is you can use this with fish, you can use it with chicken, you can use it with veal, you can use it with pork, you can use it with turkey. I mean, there is so much that you can do with this. It just about goes on any meat. This is gonna add a nice fresh herby taste to it. I've used dried parsley before. Like I said, if you don't have fresh, use dried. I have fresh today, I'm gonna use it. Okay. And there we go with that. Now, to this, we're gonna mash this in a little bit like this. Okay. This is a nice, it's just like a, it's exactly what it is. It's a piccata butter. It's got garlic and lemon. You could soften this, make this, and freeze it, and cut it into little discs, and make a sautéed version of piccata, which is also very good. Now you're going to add your lemon juice. Now I'm going to add a good tablespoon or so of lemon juice. Now this is a lemon that I freshly squeezed. My water's boiling, because I'm going to serve this with pasta. You can serve it with pasta all'olio or pasta with sauce. I've served it with rice. There's a lot of things you can serve it with. Now, I can tell by just smelling it that there's enough garlic in there for me, but I think I'm gonna add a tish more lemon because, yeah, just a tish. Now, another way you can try this if you want is spread it on a piece of bread before you serve it. You don't want it too, you know, I taste it because I like to make sure that it tastes right. And just get a little slice of bread or a cracker and spread some on there and see how it tastes. Now, this is our lemon piccata butter. Very simple. Half a pound of butter, about 2 tablespoons of chopped minced garlic, about 1.5 tablespoons of fresh parsley. If you're going to use dried parsley, use about 1 tablespoon. And then you add about 1 tablespoon or 2 of lemon. And that's it. That's your piccata butter. And there we go. Now we're going to go over to the stove and we're going to fry off our chicken and our veal. And you'll see how we finish this up. Okay, so now we're back and we're going to fry our veal and chicken that we breaded earlier. Okay, I got my oil on. And this is my favorite way of eating piccata because you can control the butter and the garlic and everything that's on there. You don't have to go overboard. I'm going to put 2 pieces of veal and I'm going to put 1 big piece of chicken. Oh yeah, that's going to fry up great. This is going to take a few minutes. You want it nice and golden brown on one side. Now these are filleted pretty thin, so they're not going to take a long time. Couple minutes on each side, and then we'll be ready to flip them. Okay, now you can see the edges are getting nice and golden brown, so I'm going to flip the veal, because that's nice and golden brown right there like that. The chicken is starting to get golden brown. Let's see. Yeah, we'll turn the chicken too. We'll let this go a couple minutes on this side. Now in a restaurant, naturally, they have a big deep fryer that we just drop the veal in and the chicken and it fries up in the fryer later, so it goes much faster. I like a nice pan fry too. When I worked at Bobby Chick's, I had one gentleman that used to come in and he wanted his veal pan fried in oil and garlic, and I'll tell you, that's the way to eat. That's the way to eat it. Now I'm going to put some paper towels down here on my serving plate because I'm going to have it drain a little bit. I got sauce going back here for my pasta. I'm going to serve this with pasta with red sauce. My water's nice and hot. Okay, okay. This looks good. So I'm going to take this one out, and I'm going to take this one out. This is the 2 veal pieces. I'm going to leave the chicken in just a few more minutes. Yep. Okay, so that's about that. We're going to drain this off, and I'm going to come over here. Okay, and this is how we plate it. I'm going to take my veal and my chicken. Okay, we don't need this anymore. Now what I like to do is I like to take a little bit of course my spatula's gone, the piccata butter, and you just kind of like put it on here and it's just going to melt all over. You can smell the garlic and lemon and the parsley. Oh, it smells delicious. Okay, and you can just see it melting nice and pretty. There we go. Now you can, like I said, you can control how much butter you put on this. You can put as little or as much as you like. Pull off a little bit of parsley here. Get a roll on a lemon. Cut out a lemon wedge here in case somebody wants a little more lemon. There we go. And there's veal and chicken piccata. We're gonna go have this for supper now. You can join us at the table. Okay, here we are at the supper table. We're gonna give Adam some pasta, which, believe it or not, he's not a big pasta eater, which I don't know where he comes from, no. And then we're gonna give Adam, you're gonna have veal or chicken?
Veal.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 1 piece or 2?
No, 2.
Okay. And then we're gonna spread some piccata butter on these, because he is a piccata fan. Okay. And then we're gonna give this to Adam. You want some extra sauce?
No. Very good.
Well, that's it tonight for Tina More Italian. We have chicken piccata we're gonna enjoy. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. And wait till you see what's coming out over here. Ready? Hi, Jordan. Come and see Tina. Come and see Tina. He was napping. Look who I got. Say hi, guys. Hi, guys. Yeah, he's napping. I don't have my own grandkid yet, but I can enjoy him. Hi. Rolling? Okay. Hi, welcome to Tina Cooks. Today, I'm going to do piccata. Oh, I'm supposed to say everybody asked me. Okay.